Norse and Norse mythology, they are not adept. But Sarah, she will research, and Paul, he must accept. Yggdrasil is a glorious word, crush a whole mountain. Well, Thor's hammer could. These fables are bizarre, but good. It's misunderstood.
I especially appreciate the little kitty cat claws you had while you did that.
Yeah, I was inspired
By what?
by this season of Drag Race UK. There was a drag queen who did claw signs on the runway, and then they were eliminated.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, the kitty cat over here is Paul Bianchi, and I am Sarah Oliver, and this is Myth Understood, where we are diving into Norse mythology.
Yeah, thanks for listening to this episode. I've been enjoying what I've been learning so far about Norse things.
What in the hell have you learned?
God, I've learned so much. I've learned about Odin willfully pulling out his own eye for just a little drop of knowledge.
Well, all of the knowledge in the cosmos.
Yeah, that's just a little drop. Yeah. What have you been up to recently, Sarah?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, you and I were in Scotland.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I left before you did, and then you were there for a long time.
I was.
And then you got back, and we had a nice Halloween together.
Yeah, that's right.
What were we?
We were Beavis and Butthead.
Exactly. We do it every year.
Every year, the costumes reek. We never wash them. I was Lord of the Dead, Hades.
You were Hades.
I was a singular Hades.
You weren't plural. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. And you were.
I was your child bride, Persephone. And I looked so young that night.
You did. You told everyone you were only 20.
I did for some reason.
Yeah.
And to me, that is a child bride.
And
don't make any decisions, you 20-year-old.
We were at a bar, and they had a karaoke, not contest. They had a costume contest, but it felt like it was a karaoke contest.
Oh,
too.
I definitely would have lost then because I had too many drinks before I sang.
Yeah, what did you sing? I don't remember.
Celine Dion.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's all coming back to me now. Is it all coming back to you now? What I
It
sang?
is. Yeah, it is.
And what did you sing? Was it Creep?
No, I sang Violent Femmes.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
you were a creep.
I was a creep. I mean, how do you sing Violent Femmes and not be a creep?
Yeah, that was a fun night. And then you got back and you won a million Wattpads awards, and you kept writing more books, and you are creating an amazing radio dramarama right now.
Oh, well, yeah, that's I actually got a message on Instagram about that recently about, like, hey, a couple episodes back, or probably like 12 episodes back, you mentioned that you're creating a new radio show called Radio Dramarama that is still continuing to occur, but as Dragon Wagon Radio is a small operation, it's a hard thing to find the time for as we work to make every other show.
Hey, also that's Hollywood, baby. We
That is. Yeah.
gotta put a lot of elbow grease into making an entire series. So
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
I appreciate the boost of confidence there.
If I was close enough to pat your knee, I would. So feel it.
Oh, I do feel it.
I'll feel this.
Ah!
Okay, so what do you think we're getting into today?
I think that we're going to talk about Cleopatra.
Well, you are such a fucking idiot. We are talking about Thor.
Oh.
Finally. I was actually going to do Freya first because I'm obsessed with her and her chariot of cats. But it's like, I know what you guys want. You want Thor. You guys want Chris Hemsworth. Well, guess what? This is definitely not Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, I feel like the jury's still out until I learn about him.
Okay. Well, rid your mind of Thor of the Marvel movies because...
Is he Australian?
Well, he's Norse.
Okay.
So I just feel like you've listened to nothing I've said the last few episodes.
All right.
Or put a bright red wig on Chris Hemsworth, a bright red long beard, and give him creepy bright red contact lenses.
So he's all red all the time.
Well, I mean, his I think he has regular flesh. Yeah.
Red hair, red beard,
Mm-hmm. Red eyes,
red eyebrows,
mm-hmm.
red eyelashes.
Are you asking if the drapes, the carpet matched the drapes?
I mean, I would be surprised.
His pubes are purple.
Okay.
Confirmed. Yeah, he was the muscle of the gods. He was our warrior god, of course, defender of the Aesir. He was basically Asgard's
Aesir,
bouncer.
like that brand of computers?
Yes.
Okay.
He stood around Walmart's. It's the only place I've ever seen them. Yeah, he was like the bouncer of Asgard, and he was like, "Hey, giants and trolls, get fucked." And he was already super, 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 super strong, but he has a few special accessories that help him be even stronger.
Did he stood outside? They didn't let him in?
I mean, he was inside too.
Okay.
He was inside because he was always eating.
Okay.
He was a little piggy. Thor, at like one meal, which you'll see once we record this and we take our lunch break, I'm going to do the same thing.
Right.
He would eat 6 ox, and he had to have a special drinking horn because he could like drain the bar.
6 ox. 6 oxen? 6 is it, I don't I'm suddenly lost if the plural or singular of ox is ox.
6 ox.
6 ox. Okay.
See? Well, he what is it? 6 oxes
Okay.
in a meal. So yeah, he was nasty. But you know how Odin had like all the nobles. He got into that Kardashian shit. He liked to start that drama, but the nobles were obsessed with Odin. Thor was more like
Right, you're
the
saying that
people's
like
god.
you remember how Odin would go to nobles and stir up drama with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took me a second to realize what you were saying.
But also, like, he was more involved in the nobles in general, and they specifically worshipped him because he was like chief of the gods. Thor was more like the people's man. You know, he's like the politician who grab a beer with, except that would be a never-ending beer because that guy can drink. Yeah, like farmers and just the general census loved Thor.
Gotcha.
He was their bro.
And in wrestling terms, then, that Odin was Vince McMahon and Thor was The Rock.
Yes, exactly. Thor is very rockish. The Rock could play Thor.
Okay.
Red hair, red beard, red eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why so many people we were talking about, I think in the first episode of Norse, that people were buried with like little necklaces with Thor's hammer because it was a symbol of, you know.
I like him.
Yeah. Like this is our revered god. He's the man. And when you hear thunder, you just know that it's Thor darting around in his chariot, driven by his 2 goats. Or, you know, it could be his hammer clobbering a giant.
So his chariot being drawn by goats, are these extra large goats or are they regular sized?
They are. They've got to be pretty big because he's a big, colossal bitch. They look normal sized in pictures, though.
Yeah, I just feel like there are a couple of fainting goats, like every time.
Well, probably, and he wasn't allowed to ride his chariot, like I told you, on the Bifrost Rainbow Bridge. So, like, every day the gods had to meet up and assemble and, like, you know, say, like, here's our daily task. They had to have some corporate meeting, and everyone rode their chariots to work except Thor wasn't allowed. So he'd, like, cross rivers and walk over mountains.
Yeah. Rent a bird scooter.
Yeah, exactly. He was allowed to bird scooter to work. And he was so he had these 3 accessories that he had at all time. First, he had this belt that he was so super strong, right? But this belt that he wore doubled his strength.
Okay.
So it made him extra strong. It was a magical belt, of course.
What did it look like?
It's rhinestones everywhere.
Rhinestones.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're telling me the truth on this one.
Yeah, rhinestones. What's the thing where you bejewel things?
A bedazzler?
Bedazzler. He bedazzled the hell out of it.
Was it like the base of it at least like a teal snakeskin?
No, it was bright pink.
Bright pink. Okay.
Secondly, he had a pair of iron gloves that without he could not wield his final and favorite accessory, his mighty hammer. Mjolnir.
Uh-huh.
So Mjolnir.
So that's different from the movies because
Yeah, no, in the movies
Hemsworth
he's worthy, right? Like he's some King Arthur kid.
yeah,
No.
but like literally, it's the Thor's worthy to wear the gloves that make him able to hold the hammer.
No. Thor got lucked into this hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because he happened to own the gloves.
No. The
Oh.
gloves came with the hammer.
Oh,
They were a twofer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you'll see.
Okay.
So our first myth is how this lucky bitch got this amazing hammer.
And wait, what's his? Is this going to include his parentage? Because I'm lost on that.
Oh, Odin's his daddy.
Odin's his dad.
Yeah.
Who's his mom?
Oh, I think it's Frigg.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Frigga.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, sorry to quiz you on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know it's Odin, his daddy.
Okay.
So Mjolnir had many powers and purposes. Yes, of course, it could always hit its mark when Thor threw it, and it returned to him like a boomerang, making Thor the most formidable adversary to trolls and frost giants, who he just basically hunted for sport. He really fucking hated them. He was pretty frost giant racist. But it could also be used to resurrect Thor's 2 goats that he used to pull his chariot.
How?
He would just wave it over their dead carcasses and they'd come back to life.
Oh, so he wouldn't like. I just imagined him like, oh no, my goat is dead, and then like bashed its head in, and then it comes back alive with a bashed in head.
Why do you think his goats died?
Because he would accidentally bash in their heads.
Because he would eat them. He would slaughter and eat his goats
Oh,
and then bring them back to life and have them.
Okay, that sounds like the best diet ever.
It's very paleo.
Yeah, you eat it, you get all the nutrients from it, and then you bring the beast back to life. I like to assume that this is like a way it's like, oh, it's not in your stomach anymore because like that stuff has to go back.
No, it's regrowing where it was. So he's still full.
Oh, so it's not a good diet then.
Well, I'm wondering if
You
it's
can
like
always
a vegan
refill your
versus
plate.
vegetarianism argument of like vegans would be like, no, I would never do that because you hurt the animal and you kill it in the first place, even if you bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
But vegetarians are like, it comes back. It's not a big deal. It's fine. I'm not killing an animal.
Well, now we're going to get into the reason why people are vegetarian, which I don't think you've quite hit.
I'm basically a vegetarian.
And the reason,
except for my goats.
And so if you could kill the animal but bring it back to life,
No, I can't. I personally could never kill an animal.
Okay.
I would eat meat a little less guilty if I was like, oh, this is a chicken who's still running around a farm. I bought it, but yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Or she's fine. Yeah. So, so he did some witch shit with his hammer. And the hammer was also used to do like hollowing and some ceremonial bullshit. You could bless births with his hammer. You could officiate a wedding with it. Consecrate.
I'm just imagining because it's a hammer that it's like you bless births with it. I just saw like cut to baby's face getting smashed with a hammer.
Yeah.
And then it was like you can a wedding, and then it was like the people are holding hands, and he breaks both of their hands with a hammer.
I think he's more like holding it like a hair, like a wand,
like a shake weight above their head.
You are not married. Could you imagine him being your wedding officiant though?
I
tearing up a little.
If it's not him, I'm gonna be disappointed at this point.
Well, now I have to dress like Thor.
Yeah.
Which also is a wedding thing we'll get to later.
Oh.
So his hammer was used for all kinds of weird shit. It appealed to people. It was like for the people in Midgard, the humans. It appeared like a symbol of protection and comfort. And there's like numerous surviving runic inscriptions that had the hammer everywhere. So even though Odin was the big guy, like his spear, like yeah, that's great for killing nobles, but like this hammer was the main symbol of Norse mythology.
So you it would appear to people like, oh, I'm in great pain, I'm dying. Oh, what is that beautiful hammer I see?
You're married.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this hammer could not have come to Thor if it weren't for the tomfoolery of who?
Of Loki.
Oh yeah, his
Okay.
best frenemy. Thor had a fine looking woman named Sif.
Oh, Lady Sif.
Gorgeous goddess. She and he was not a bad husband by God standards. Again, this is God standards. He only had one adulteress that he had kids with, and she was a frost giant. So like, I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
No.
Different realm.
Yeah, because honestly, it's probably like throwing a toothpick in a volcano. That sex.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So his dick still got burnt off then.
Yes. So yeah, he just had 2 kids with a frost giant, whatever. But Sif was his main boo. He loved her. She was super popular because she had this long golden hair.
Oh.
Some like Disney princess shit. Until one morning Sif woke up and was like, "Ah, where's all my hair?" Ah!
The goats ate it. You know the goats will if they're given the chance.
They would. Goats eat anything. It was Loki. He felt like fucking around, and he was just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shave the head of the strongest god's wife.
You know, he probably wanted to make a wig out of it so that because he lived as a woman. So like,
Yeah, sometimes exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So Thor woke up and was so pissed off and immediately knew like it's fucking Loki. Of course it's Loki. Who else is gonna shave your head?
Meanwhile, the goats are over there chewing.
Like, I'll kill you later, but then you'll come back. You're my special babies. So he went to Loki and he was like, "You little shitbag." And Loki's like, "What? What'd I do?" And he's like, "I'm gonna break every single bone in your body." That's the actual threat. And Loki was like, "Oh, okay. Can I go down to where the dwarves hang out?" And they're the ultimate craftsmen. They will
Craft her new hair.
They'll make some new hair. I'm sure they do so
Did
much
they
great
say
stuff.
what he did with the hair though?
No, shaved it.
I really want to know where it ended up though. Like, did he weave it into a rug?
I don't know because he obviously got rid of it because they didn't just say like, "Oh, let's somehow magically glue it back on her head."
Yeah, maybe.
So-
what if he gave it to like a Locks for Love sort
That's
of thing
nice.
to like
That's a nicer
like
Loki.
sick children in
Yeah.
the Frost Troll realm.
Oh yeah, like cancer trolls. God,
You said it.
Oh, you started it. So Loki was like, "Please, buddy, please, please, please." Those guys who were super good at smithing and they make weapons, they make all kind of like enchanted shit. They probably do hair. They probably do hair.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because every time we've gone to Home Depot, like I've always seen you getting
I
your
go
hair
to
done.
the hair extension section.
Yeah. The person's like pruning flowers and then cutting your hair.
So Thor was like, "Fine, figure it out, or remember how I'm breaking literally every single bone in your body." And Loki's like, "Got it, noted."
And
All
the
right.
live studio audience goes, ooh.
So Loki went to Svartalheim, the land of the dwarves.
Wait, say that again.
Svartalheim.
Oh, Gesundheit.
I know I'm going to get some tweets for that. There, he found the sons of the dwarf Ivaldi. And they made not only a new weave for Sif, but they also made Skitbladnir, which was the best ship ever made. It always found a fair wind.
Wait, but he didn't even ask him to do that.
No.
They were just like, make Sif a lace front, and they were like, sure, but also here's a ship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was some like negging going on by Loki because he definitely negs the next set of dwarves.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he's like, hey, I know that you can't make this stuff. Like, you're not that good.
yeah.
Yeah. But so they're like, fuck you. We are the best. Not only are we going to make this hair, we're going to make all this other shit, you little asshole. So this ship that they made always found a fair wind, which is amazing, right?
Yeah.
But what could make this ship more convenient?
It
to take.
flies.
You can fold it up and put it into your pocket.
Oh. Huh. Okay.
And then they also made
You know that'd be so convenient for LA, except not a ship, a car.
that you could fold up. Yeah, never pay for parking again.
Yeah.
Never get towed again.
Of course, the way mass works, you couldn't do that. Like you would just like,
What do you mean?
because if you could fold it, even if you could fold up a car and put it in your pocket, it would still have like the mass and weight of a car. So
No, this one doesn't.
the ship doesn't.
No.
Okay.
It's magical, dummy.
Gotcha.
Fucking idiot. But you know what you would do? You would lose your car the way you lose your set of keys.
Oh, that's true.
Like, where'd I put it? Oh shit, I gotta go to work. So the third thing that these dwarves made was Odin's spear.
Odin's spear.
Yeah, so he got a little spear from these guys.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
was like, and give this to him.
All because Loki shaved Sif bald.
Exactly.
Odin would have never gotten this spear.
Oh no, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Thor never would have got his hammer.
Okay.
Because then Loki was like really proud of himself. He has multiple selves. He's
Yeah.
he's a little psycho.
Uh-huh.
He was really proud of himself for manipulating these results, and so he's like, you know what? I don't want to go home yet. Well, no, he did bring those home, and he came back and he's like, you know what? I'm not fucking done with these dwarves and their nimble little fingers making shit.
I like to think that he was so like preoccupied with this idea of like, I'm gonna go back to these dwarves, that when he delivers these things, he like puts a ship in Odin's hands and then puts a spear in Sif's head and then like drops the hair in the water and goes back down to the dwarf land.
That would be very Loki. Yeah.
Because do they cover how Sif felt about her new hair?
No, she loves it. It was more beautiful than the original weave.
Is it attached to her head though?
Yes.
How?
Because this is dwarf magic. How does the ship fold up in your pocket?
You've explained that one to me. Magic.
Yes, this is also magical hair.
Magical.
It's like goldeny locks.
I just imagine it hurting somehow. Like she puts it
No.
on her head.
She put it on and it right away attached, and she was looking better than ever.
Wow.
Like, who has great blonde hair?
Donald Trump.
Oh. That's held together not by magic but a hex.
Uh-huh.
You can never shave that off.
You can't.
So he went back and he was like, you know what? I can keep doing this. These dwarves are competitive little fucks. So he went to these rival smithers, the brothers Brakir and Sindri,
Mm-hmm.
and he started negging them next. And he was like, yeah, those dwarves that are like your main business competition.
Yeah, what about them?
They made these 3 fucking amazing things for the gods, and the gods are like bananas, and they're like, we're gonna give you a Zagat rating.
What the fuck?
5 stars on Yelp.
What are you listening to this, Bakir?
Yeah. We're better than them.
Yeah. We can make whatever. Like what? Like you want
some shit?
You want a Fitbit?
You want a shit bit?
You want some Uggs? We can make it all.
I can make some Uggs that turn you into an exploding spider.
Yeah, we'll make you a Louis Vuitton purse, and we'll cut it on the right part. I don't know. My sister used to be very into Louis Vuitton, and she like knew how to spot a fake because they cut the fabric the right way.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all I got.
When I went to China and they had all the knockoff Louis Vuittons, they just started like lighting matches near them. And I was like, I don't know what that proves, but that's what every fake purse salesman would do. Like, see? Like they're putting fire on it. Like, what is what's that prove?
I guess that it's like made out of real leather. Did you ever see one be like, see? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Willem scream.
Mhm.
So these guys were like, dude, you're a fucking asshole. We are so much better than those shit brains across the way. And he's like, yeah, okay, well, maybe you make 3 things that are better than what, that ship, that spear, that her.
Okay.
Prove it.
All right. Here are 3 things. These are tap shoes that tap dance for you. This is a mustache comb that also combs your face.
Oh, yes.
And this is a robot dinosaur that shoots bracelets out of its mouth.
Oh, that's funny you said jewelry because they make some weird fucking jewelry.
Okay, good.
So they were like, you know what? We don't care. We don't care about your challenge. And then Loki was like, okay, let's make things interesting. I'll bet my fucking head on it.
Oh.
I'll bet my head you can't do it. And they're like, all right.
They're like, he'll take that bet too.
Yeah.
Like his dad bet his eye.
Yeah, exactly. So as they started making little trinkets for the gods, this little fucking fly started stinging them.
What? Sorry. A fly started stinging them?
Yeah, it was Loki because he likes to turn into a fly and be a bitch. So they're
Do
working.
they mean a fly? Like what fly? Like I know like a horse fly will bite.
Mhm.
Is that what they mean?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's an asshole. So he bit or stung Sindri's hand. And so he pulled the thing he was making out of the fire, and it was a boar with golden hair. And this
Wait,
boar,
what?
yeah, that's what he made in the fire.
Who made that in the fire?
Sindri, the elf, the dwarf.
So that was one of the things he was working on, was making a boar with golden hair?
Yeah. But he didn't get to heat it for as long as he wanted. So
Oh, so it came out a little raw in the middle?
no, it's great.
Okay.
Still great. Could have been better, I guess, is the point. But this boar, Gullinbursti,
Mm-hmm.
he gave off light in the dark, and he could run faster than any horse, even on air or on water.
Okay.
They love their weird animal friendships. This is why it's the best mythology.
Okay. So who does that go to?
I'm pretty sure it's Frey.
Okay.
We'll see. Then Sindri was making another piece of gold in the fire, and Broker, his brother, was working on the bellows, and then a fly bit Broker on the neck. Ouch! Sindri drew out a magnificent ring, Dropner. From this ring, on every 9th night, for some reason, fall 8 new golden rings of equal weight.
Again, like I'm thinking
Just gaudy jewelry.
I feel like the first dwarves are winning so far.
Mm-hmm. Sindri then put iron into the hearth and said that, told his brother that for this next creation, they had to be like on their best fucking game because any mistake could be more costly than the previous 2 things they made. Then Loki heard that and was like, you know what? I'm going to sting you, my little dwarf friend, on your eyelid.
Why does he want him to fail?
Because he wagered his head on it.
Oh.
He wants like to get free shit from them.
So
But
he's
he
saying
wants-
like if it's not as good as the gotcha.
Yeah. And then so he stung this dwarf so hard that he started bleeding from his eyes
Oh.
and was blinded while he was working from his own blood. Sindri produced a hammer, though. and it was a hammer that could never miss its mark, would always return to its owner. It was perfect. The only problem with it had a stumpy little handle.
Oh.
That's the only issue with the hammer. So he got all of the gifts and he brought them to the gods. And oh no, this is when he gives everybody their stuff. So he gave Sif the new hair, and then he gave Thor. He was like, "Also sorry, bro, gave you this hammer." And then he gave Odin that weird gaudy ring.
Okay.
And he gave Frey the fast golden boar.
But also the spear to Odin. So Odin got two things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Odin got the spear as well. And then Frey got
Who got the ship? Like that's
Frey got the ship too.
That's
So he
that's
got
the best
a ship
thing.
and a boar.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if Frey's getting so spoiled. No one shaved his wife's head. Yeah. And they were super thankful to get the gifts because they knew once they got that hammer, like, oh, this really helps keep the giants out of Asgard. We're super safe. But they were like, still, Loki, like, you made that wager with the dwarves. Thank you so much for these 6 like amazing treasures, but you should probably be decapitated.
What? Why though? Is it because I didn't get gloves to hold the hammer?
No, it's because like these gifts are so good. Like, why'd you make that weird deal?
Because I'm mischievous. That's just me.
So the dwarves
Can't change me.
the dwarves came at Loki, and they were gonna knife him down. And then Loki was like, "Hey, look, yeah, I told you I'd give you my head, but I didn't say you have my neck."
What does that mean though?
So they were like, he got us. He got us.
Wait, what does that mean? You just cut it really high.
No, that's still part of my neck. How you gonna get my head? I don't know. I would just like scalp him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just cut off his fucking head then.
If you're listening at home, like, yeah, I've seen Sarah do this before.
I would just chop off his noggin. You still die. And so they were like, you got us. But you know what? You fucking suck. So they sewed his mouth shut.
Oh.
And they're like, that's good enough. Yeah.
So how did Thor get those gloves then? Or
He must
came
have.
with the
Yeah,
glove?
he got them for more dwarves, and his.
I thought you said he got them from work.
He got them from work.
They're part of the uniform at Chipotle.
They're definitely a tax write-off.
Yeah.
And that is the story of how the gods got the greatest weapon, Sif's new hair.
Sif's new hair.
Sif's new weave.
Yeah.
But there has been times where Thor was without his precious hammer.
Oh.
Could you imagine Thor waking up to find his most prized possession was missing? It was stolen.
By Loki.
Actually, fucking not.
Oh.
And this is the one story where Loki is a true friend.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So they wake up, they're like on a camping trip together or something. Like probably one is slaying, the other's laying giants. It's interchangeable.
Are they camping or are they glamping?
Oh, they're definitely glamping. They're gads.
Okay.
And so Thor woke up and he was all pissed off and stomping around like, where the fuck's my hammer?
Did you check by the car? Like,
of course I checked the car.
you were using it to hammer in the tent stake
What?
for your goats.
Okay, I'll take the car out of my pocket again. I swear to God. So they went up to the coolest goddess ever, the coolest god ever, Freya.
Mhm.
And they were like, Freya, we have searched high and low. We have no idea where this hammer that protects Asgard, all of us gods, we have no idea where it is.
Did you check the car?
Of course I checked the fucking car. I'll check it again. And so they were like, you have this sweet ass coat made of falcon feathers that makes you fly. That would be really useful to like check out the lay of the land and see if anyone's just like, leveling mountains or something with a hammer.
Yeah, but like last time you borrowed clothes from me, it came back with like goat meat on it.
You are lucky. That is gift from Thor.
Uh,
So she wouldn't let Thor have it, but she gave it to Loki.
Okay.
Because of Loki promised no goat blood. And Loki was like, this fits so great. And he got up in the air and he flew around. And he looked and he found that it was in the land of the giants.
oh, how did it get there?
So once he arrived there, he got into his god form and went up to the chief of the giants, Thrym, who was, for some reason, trimming the manes of his horses and plating golden collars for his female dog. So he's just,
Yeah.
being a good fucking animal owner.
Uh-huh.
And Loki was like, hey, any chance you saw a hammer?
I've just been hanging out with my pets, bro. I'm trimming mane. My name's Thrym. I like to trim.
And then he was like, but also, yeah, I totally stole it. And
Oh.
I hid it 8 leagues beneath the sea. And I'm going to be straightforward with you. You can have that giant slaying weapon if and when you give me Freya, that beautiful, beautiful goddess. I want to
Wow.
marry her. And so Loki's like, okay, I'm going to go check back.
Uh-huh.
Funny enough, I have to return her coat that I borrowed anyway. So I'll go ask.
But yeah, she might say yes because women are definitely property.
So as Loki was still mid-flight, Thor asked Loki if his efforts were successful. And he said, you need to tell me while you're still in the air because, quote, tales often escape a sitting man, and a man lying down often barks out lies. It was like,
Oh, okay.
okay. So Loki's like, yeah,
Is
it was
that
stolen.
true?
Yeah, if you're sitting down, you're going to lie.
If you're sitting down,
You bark out a lie.
wait. But tails often escape a sitting man.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And if you're lying down, you're lying.
Gotcha.
Man.
All right. He was on one that day.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Thor was just blind with rage, so he's just accusing everyone of everything. So Loki was like, yes, I found it. Thrym has the hammer, but we got to bring Freya to him because he is horny for Freya. And so they're like, okay, let's go see what she thinks about this. So they go to Freya and they're like, hey, you are so lucky. You need to put on this bridal headdress and we are going to take you to the land of the giants.
Oh, human trafficking.
Yeah. And Freya's like, the fuck you just said? I give you my fancy ass feather coat. You fly. I helped you out already. I'm not going to go fucking marry some giant. Her rage was so extreme. It caused all of the halls to tremble with her anger, and her fancy ass necklace that we'll get to one day how she got that like exploded off her neck.
Oh.
And they're like, so it's a no. So all the gods get together to figure out this dilemma, and in the council, Heimdall, who's the guardian of the Bifrost Rainbow Bridge and Loki's mortal enemy, is like, okay, I got kind of a wacky idea.
All right.
I'm gonna say, Thor, you go check out this giant Thrym dressed up as Freya in a wedding gown.
Oh, okay, great.
And he was like, you need to be dressed with like all the jewels, all the clothing down to your knees, bridal headdress, wear Freya's busted ass necklace, and then you can like infiltrate and grab that hammer back.
Yeah, he's got to do that thing where he puts the Elmer's glue on his eyebrows and then puts the makeup on over it and then draws the eyebrows on.
What?
Drag race.
Okay.
It's come back around.
Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try that out tonight. So Thor was like, this is some bullshit. Like, I'm a hyper masculine fella. No way. I have toxic masculinity. And Loki was like, yeah, no, this actually, like, I fucking hate Heimdall, but like, this is a great idea.
I sort of feel like Loki's probably got a better stature for it, though.
Well, he's like, look, dude, if you don't, the giants are gonna come for Asgard. You can't beat them up all by yourself. You need the help of your hammer. But also, I look pretty great in drag.
Mm.
I'll come as your handmaiden.
Oh, so so Loki's down. Loki was like has been waiting for this moment.
Yes. He's like, it's so weird. I have the right outfit at home. Let's go.
Yeah, well, see, like Loki's like, we're gonna have to cover a lot of all of this with like a big frock, but like,
Yeah.
I got the legs to pull.
Oh
this
yeah.
off.
So it was like the
Yeah.
makeover 80s sequence
Uh-huh.
montage. So they got into Thor's goat-drawn chariot and they went down to the land of the giants, Untenheim. And once they got there, they were welcomed by Thrym, who was probably still, fancying up his ponies. And he was like, "Oh, finally, you bring me my bride. I knew that we were going to end up together. Let's have a giant feast for this wedding celebration." Now, at dinner, Thor and Loki were in a bit of a pickle because, as I told you earlier, Thor is a bottomless pit.
Uh-huh.
So he ate an entire ox, ate salmon, and all of the desserts that had been prepared for the women, and barrels and barrels and barrels of mead. So Thrym was like,
And all the pizza rolls.
exact. Oh yeah. Oh, that's me. You just made my mouth water. So Thrym was like, "Wow, I've never seen a woman eat like that before." And Loki was ready to cover, like, "The fair goddess has been so lovesick for you that she hasn't been able to eat for a week."
And now I can eat. It's great.
And Thrym was like, okay. I guess that seems cool. So he was overcome with this urge to kiss his bride. And when he peeled back the veil, he saw Thor's crazy, crazy bright red eyes that were so pissed off because he stole his hammer. And he's like, "Never have I seen a maiden with such frightfully piercing eyes." And Loki covered right away. He's like, "Oh,
The better to look at you, my dear."
Freya has been unable to eat. She has also been unable to sleep. So that's just the longing that she has for you in her eyes. And then they somehow got to the wedding ceremony, and this giantess was like, "Well, everybody be using hammers to officiate ceremonies. So let me start this off. And do you wed?" And Thor pulled back his veil and just smiled this creepy, crazy ass smile and was like, and he grabbed his hammer out of her hands and he first murdered his would-be sister-in-law.
But it's not Mjolnir, it's just a hammer.
No, it's his hammer.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they use that one for
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they dug it up from 8 leagues beneath the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabbed it by the handle and killed the sister-in-law, Thrym, and all of his wedding guests.
Even not giants?
I think it was mostly giants in attendance.
Okay.
No, like none of his friends came except
That's what-
Loki. Yeah.
And killed Loki, too.
Loki would like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, he murdered literally everyone there and went back on his goat-driven chariot with his friend still in drag, and they probably had like another 80s montage where they're looking at each other, high
In
five.
their blood-soaked wedding dresses. Yeah.
And he got back to Asgard and put on his man clothes and said, "No one speaks of this again."
Did he really?
No, but he was like, he's very paranoid about being mocked. So I'm sure now that he has the hammer, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna not tease Thor."
And I think that's maybe the main reason why Loki went, is that he wanted to know every single moment of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he turned into a fly and just started gossiping again.
Yeah.
"You should have seen Thor's calves and those heels."
He did not pull it off.
So that is how Thor received, then lost, then got back his beloved hammer.
Well, that's a really fun tale.
Z.
Tales. I thought you turned into a fly for a moment.
No, because I would be talking so much shit right now.
Yeah.
I'd be biting the shit out of your eyelids.
Oh no.
So what did you learn?
Everything you just shared with me.
You learned that you can put a little car in your pocket?
I learned that if you want to get dwarves to make you things, you should be rude.
Yes, exactly. You should bite them, and you should put competing small businesses up against each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the beautiful, beautiful myth of Thor. There's 1,000 more.
I also learned that if you want to trick a giant into thinking that you're a woman, all you have to do is wear a veil.
Just a little rouge, baby.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, no, he definitely did the Elmer's glue thing you're talking about. I looked back in my notes. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe even some like tape to like pull the eyes up.
Yeah. So what's the thing that makes your ass look thicker? Those padded tights that the drag queens wear?
Yeah. Well, I think they just usually stuff in pads.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if they come that way.
Well, you can buy them that way.
Yeah.
I've seen it in I think Ross.
At Ross?
Maybe not.
Okay. Wow.
I got it at Ross.
This episode brought to you by Ross.
Please. I am too manly.
Well, look no further. I am Loki, the trickster god, and I will give you the makeover you need to trick any person into marrying you.
You can't make me look like a woman. Look at my broad shoulders.
Well, that does make things difficult, but please come to my shop. Broad shoulders, you say? I'll just chop them off.
Well, what are you going to do about this big old dick?
I'm going to tape that to your inner thigh.
Oh, then I'll get my thigh pregnant. I'm a god after all.
Well, you can worry about that after your ruse of a marriage goes through.
How do I keep my appetite down? I'm always hungry.
Well, as someone who's gotten their mouth sewn shut a few times, I can assure you that that's a great way to do it. Here, take this thread.
Oh. And
Exactly. Now it's really easy to improvise.
Oh my God, that is the most beautiful girl I ever saw. My brother, this frost giant, he's gonna love to marry you and have sex on you, girl. You come with me and we'll get you married.
Another satisfied customer.
he's killing me.
Another murder victim.
All right. Another marvelous afternoon spent with you. I'm so happy to make this show with my best friend.
Oh, I'm really happy to be making it with you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Paul. We're gonna tell people about our Patreon now.
Oh, yeah. Please continue telling them about our Patreon now.
Hey, if you love us and want us to live forever, please check out our Patreon. We have lots of tiers, lots of
Fierce.
lots of bonus material you can find there. Paul's amazing art, my bizarre newsletter as a god.
You know the art that will be coming out with today's episode
What?
is the first of 3 drawings of Artemis.
Stop.
Yeah, and
They all have six packs.
as a kid, well, no, I think only one has a 6-pack.
The other ones have beer bellies.
They all, they're all from different. Yeah, they're from different stages of my life. But I think I made it no secret on the podcast that Artemis was my favorite goddess, and that extended into my childhood. And I drew her several times.
Great.
Yeah.
And if we want to follow all the art that you make and all the art you create, writing, drawing, painting, you're too perfect. People can find you on Instagram and Twitter at the Paul Bianchi.
And if they want to follow your face, because you post your face,
I have to.
yeah, and the
I don't
faces
want
of
to.
other people in your life, they can find you at the Sarah Oliver.
Yeah, I have really great content. Yesterday, I made a satire song of last Christmas you gave me your fart. So I'm killing
Yeah,
it
you
out
also
there.
pulled your hair in front of your face and wondered what it would look like if you had bangs.
Oh no, if I remove my forehead.
If you removed your gotcha. I forgot about that.
So if you want that high quality content, follow us there. You can also follow our podcast at _myth understood on all social medias. And you can follow our daddy radio station at It's Dragon Wagon on every social media you dream of.
Have a good day.
Have a great day. Night night.
Hey, my name is Takura McCullough, and I am a huge Monkees fan. Ever since the 1980s, I would watch them on MTV, and I brought out my little keyboard, and I played along with them on this podcast. I get my friends and fun people over, and I make them watch it with me. So we go through each episode and talk about it. Please join us. It's super fun. Be sure to follow us at Monkees Podcast on social media, MonkeesPawdcast, and subscribe to this feed to catch the very first episode of the Monkees Podcast.
It's Dragon Wagon.